Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It is 3 o'clock. We are ready to get started with the confidence quotient. I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes to get on. And while you're doing that, just know that the replay will be available. And this page will be up for several weeks, and then I will take it down. You'll still have access to it from being in here. I'll just archive the group. So anyway, I wanted to get started. Like I said, welcome. I am so glad that you are here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jenny Field. I am the moderator in this group, as well as my other group, Reclaim Your Inner Badass. I have 30 years experience in customer service and sales. I have 30 years experience as an entrepreneur and 30 years in experience in managing my brain. So anyway, that's what I love to teach, and I can teach it because I've lived it. So I welcome you. Thank you for being here. If you're watching live, drop in and say, hey, hi, Amy. I see you there. Let me know where you're from. And we will get started. What I'm excited about this week is being able to share with you all the different things. And if you guys hear yelling in the background, let me just preference right now. I don't know that I really thought this through. Our cadets are here. So there's about 8 boys in my kitchen eating, cooking. I don't know what else they're doing, but they're very loud. And they're not aware that they're loud, but so I apologize if you hear them. All right. What I'm excited about is I am excited to share with you about building confidence and how to continue to maintain and build confidence along the way. And I want to live in a world with successful and confident women. And so I truly believe that if you can build confidence and if you can share that with your kids, if you can share that with your circle of friends, then we can empower people, women specifically, all over this world to live and be in confidence. And that is something that I am truly, truly excited about. My goal this year is to reach 5,000 people. And I know that that's a pretty tall order, but I know that if I can influence you and then you can influence your friends, then we can absolutely do that. So as we get ready to get started, hi, Donna. Hi, Ansley. Yay. All right. If you're joining via the replay, you don't have any sound? Are you the only, I took a screenshot. Is that better, Donna? Is that better? Hi, Jamie. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Somebody give me a thumbs up or something. Because what I don't want is to talk this whole thing through and then not have you guys hear. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me test it on my computer. Sound is good for you? Okay. I just turned up my volume, so I don't know if that affects you guys or not. Okay, so we are ready to go. I'm not going to pull it up on my computer then. All right. One of the things too, yesterday I posted a welcome post just for you to tell us a little bit about you. The more interactive we are in this group, the more I feel like you can build some friendships, you can build some connections with people. And that's another thing that I'm super excited about. And I am a connector by nature, so I love connecting other people. So get to that welcome post, just jump in, tell us where you're from, what you do, whatever you want to say, and let us know what you're excited about too. All right. Let's get started. I do have notes. I practice all these things in my head. I say all these wonderful things. And then if I don't type them out, then I forget some things. So I want to make sure I don't do that for you guys today. Fun facts. In the US, women have more college degrees and graduate degrees than men. Okay. Women make up half the workforce. Companies that hire women and have a large number of women that work for them actually outperform other companies and outperform their competition. So I find that super interesting. And yet here we are as women, we have a tendency to underestimate our abilities. And I don't know why that is, but we do. And yet men actually overestimate their abilities and their performance by 30%. So I don't believe that men don't have confidence issues, because I know they absolutely do. I'm not saying that by any means. I think maybe they just cover it better. So, women will not apply for a job or a promotion unless they're 100% qualified, and men will apply if they're 60% qualified. I think that's very interesting, you guys. What it just means is that we need to take notice that we do great things and that we're capable of great things, and that it's okay not to have everything in order to go ahead and take those first steps. So confidence is just as important as competence. All right. So today we're going to talk about the 10 bullshit things that go on in your head and people think about confidence. And as I was looking through these, like, you may see yourself in some of them, you may not see yourself at all in some of them, but I would love to hear where you see yourself, what thoughts you have. Feel free to ask questions, whatever that looks like for you. So the number one thing is, we tend to believe when I am more confident, I won't feel afraid. Nope, that's the big, huge lie. I wish that was the truth, but it is not. What happens when we start to gain confidence is that it's not that the fear goes away. We're just willing to do it in spite of the fear. I want you to think back to a time when you were afraid to do something. Did you have a new job? Was it maybe going on a date? Was it learning new technology? Was it going back to school? Was it going to an exercise class? What were your thoughts around that? And then, like, if it was a new job, like, you had to show up, right? And so what happened once you did that? Did you gain more confidence? Did you feel better? Think back to those times. All right. And you can put things in the comments if you want. There are lots of famous people that have confidence issues. And when I tell you some of these, you're going to think there's no way. Lady Gaga, Kim Kardashian. So when I read that, I kind of laughed because, you talk about a family that has totally put all of their stuff out there, right? They've put their stuff out there for everybody to see. But she has issues with how people perceive her. Emma Stone, Michael Phelps, Dorothy Hamill, for those of us that are near my age, Barbara Streisand, Paula Deen, Howie Mandel. So what I see is, you see entertainers. There's lots of singers that have confidence issues, anxiety issues around what they do, right? But so what that tells me is, number one, nobody is immune. Right? Nobody is immune to having confidence issues. When you have butterflies or you get a little anxious, I know, Jamie, like, you're putting on a big meeting. Like, sometimes you get that little anxious feeling, and some of it's excitement and some of it's being scared to death, and it's a mix of all of it. That's when you know it's important to you. It's important to you to do a good job. And so that's a good feeling. It's okay. That's meant to help you thrive. And we build confidence when we do some scary shit. That's plain and simple. I wish there were ways that we could build tons of confidence without always doing scary stuff, but I think you build it a lot faster when you get into doing scary things. A lot of people believe that you were either born with confidence or you weren't, and that is 100% false. Confidence is a learned behavior. It's a learned skill. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, regardless of what you're doing, it's a building block to creating more confidence. So if you're good at doing one thing, you have confidence in that area, right? So when you have confidence, then you're willing to take another step out and another step out and another step out. Even the most confident people that you can think of have periods of self-doubt. And I know it doesn't look like that. It's because they kind of follow that never let them see a sweat type thing, right? So it's okay for people to see a sweat. Use your doubt in areas to drive you to learn a new skill, to hone your skills, to become really comfortable with what you're doing. I think the more educated we become, the more we learn to understand what we're going through, the better we can be. So, that's one of the things that I think is can be the hardest and yet the most simple. We don't have to do everything well. We can be learning new skills. And the broader that you grow, the easier it is to gain confidence and be well-rounded in lots of different areas. So don't be afraid to step out and try new things. The number 3 thing that we tell ourselves that like really only extroverts have tons of confidence. And I know it's because outwardly they seem like they have all the confidence in the world, right? Like we can see extroverted people and think, oh my gosh, they love being around people and they talk so well and they just seem to ooze confidence. Like I said, remember, it's a learned skill. Right? So you just learn to flip the switch if you're an introvert in those situations. Introverts, let me back up. If you're an extrovert, people can sometimes think, oh, well, confident people are aggressive and they're bossy and all that good stuff, right? And we kind of want to avoid that. If you're an introvert, you're quietly confident. So you're less showy. You don't necessarily want the limelight. You just go about your stuff. You know what you stand for. You have the respect of your peers. You have the respect of people around you. You tend to be like a really good communicator. And so that's completely different type of confidence. And it's okay to blend the two. I am a trained extrovert. So I'm an introvert that's been trained to be an extrovert. It's because at the age of 20, I started doing different things, doing sales meetings, speaking in front of people, and it's what I love to do. And so that becomes very easy for me. But it's not my natural behavior. My natural behavior is to be pretty quiet, to sit back and observe. And so just know, learned skills. We're going to learn those skills. And know that it's completely okay to be confident in your own way. Whatever that is, own it. Own your confidence wherever you are most comfortable. Number 4 is I have to feel confident in order to do the things that I want to do. Nope. Right? We've already talked about that. It's like which came first, the chicken or the egg? In this instant, action comes first. So creating action and being brave comes first. And then from that, the feeling of confidence comes next. So just know it's going to take a little bit of bravery, and then you're going to grow that confidence. Number 5, I have to do big things to feel confident. Nope, not at all. There are only so many people out there. They're going to win a Nobel Prize every year, right? 1. Pulitzer Prize, right? There's only so many people that can win Academy Awards. There's only so many people that can win Grammys, gold medals, national championships. That's not the norm, right? Because we always say, oh, that's for the chosen few. Yes, but there's ways that you can have the same thing. If your goal is to be number 1 in sales, or if your goal is to run a company or whatever it may be, write a book, teach whatever it is you want to teach. If that's your goal, then you have to go for it 110%. If that's what you wake up and you want to do, you have to go for it. For most of us, it's everyday success keeps building. Look at the little things you do every day. I want you to think about, what do you do every day that you're great at? If you go to work every day and you're really good at your job, then you're really good, right? You have confidence in that area. If you keep a great tidy house, then you have confidence in that. If you're an amazing cook, you have confidence in that. So think about the things that you do every single day and where you see yourself having those strengths. And then we're just going to build on those. If you have strengths in one area, you can have strengths in others. Some people are great party throwers. Some people are great listeners. I don't care what it is. I just want you to start thinking about what you're great at. Number 6, negative comments will kill my confidence. First off, we can all just agree that some people are just plain asses and they survive to tear people down. They take great joy in that. There is constructive criticism, which will do nothing more than push you forward, right? So at the end of these 5 days, your 5-day challenge, I'm going to send you guys a survey. to get your feedback. And I want to know what you think. Now, there's going to be some things I'm going to take from that and implement because they're me, and there's going to be some things that I won't, and that's okay. Your comments that are negative are going to help me be better. They're not meant, I don't think for an instant that they're meant to tear me down by any means. So think about constructive criticism. If you own, I know several of you on here own your own businesses. You have employees. Sometimes you have to give some constructive criticism. So just remember, if you're the giver of criticism, to always sandwich that in between the positives, and it makes it much easier for people to deal with. But it also, as the receiver, throw out stuff. If people are just being nasty to be nasty, throw it out. You don't need that, but really listen to constructive criticism. It's not there to hurt you. It's there to help you. And you come from a whole new perspective then on the next thing that you do. You have more knowledge, you have outside people helping you, and so you can take the next steps even from a very different perspective with more knowledge. Number 7, your inner critic. We are our own worst enemies. I see it all the time. And I think as women, and it happens to men too, I'm not saying that, but since we're all women here, that's what I'm going to reference. We tend to just beat ourselves up. We, from the time you get up in the morning, when you look in the mirror, when you do things at work, like we're constantly in our own heads about that. And we worry a ton about what other people think. And I think that's one of the places that we really sell ourselves short. We really hurt ourselves because we are so much more than that. We're so much more than what you see. We're so much more, we're complicated, right? My husband would tell you I'm very complicated. But we really beat ourselves up. One of the things I had posted today was that your brain is your bitch. And I say that jokingly, but it's so true. Your brain is designed to get you what you want. You have to tell it what you want. You have to consistently tell it what you want. And you have to flush out all the negative stuff and fill it with that good stuff so that your brain can seek that out. And so that's a couple of the things that we're going to be talking about this next week. Nasty self-talk doesn't do you any good. You need to learn to have your own back. So if you catch yourself, and I did this, I was probably a couple months ago, but tap your nose. Every time you say something negative about yourself or a negative thought, if you'll tap your nose, you will soon become very aware of how often you do it. And it's a great tip to stop yourself and then think a different thought. Right? If you're beating yourself up about something, tap your nose, stop, and go and think about something that you've done well or how you can improve that, not to beat yourself up. You would never, ever say those things to your best friend. I know you wouldn't. So why are you doing it to yourself? It's so important that you have your own back all the time. All right. Number 8, that you have to be perfect, that you have to know everything. You guys. We all know that's not true, except we try to tell ourselves that that's true. If we had to wait for all the lights to be green, we'd never get across town. If we had to wait to be perfect, we would never accomplish anything. So stop searching for that and learn as you go. I have always said let me think about that. Done is better than perfect. Blah, can't get it out. So it was more important for me to do something. I'd rather put something out there that maybe is not perfect, but that I can correct as I go, and to have it done, because then it's off my plate. I can take my brain off of it. So many times we wallow in that and we get that analysis paralysis where we overthink everything, that we don't need to do that. We absolutely don't need to overthink everything that we're doing. We need to take action and then correct. Just remember, in that study, women would not apply for a job or a promotion unless they were 100% qualified, and men only had to be 60% qualified to feel like they were deserving and could do the job. All right. Number 9, failures will erode away at my confidence. How many of you had thought that a failure would somehow make you feel less than, or it would chip away at your self-confidence. Failures are inevitable. I don't care what it is, what you do, you will fall on your face. And you just pick yourself back up, you suck it up, and you go on. And I was thinking over the years, like all the things that I've done that I was like, oh, good Lord. How you come back from stuff. First of all, you have to have a sense of humor about yourself. You can't take yourself too seriously. I'm not talking about self-effacing where you make fun of yourself all the time. I'm not saying that, but I am saying if you look at a mistake that you've made, being able to laugh it off, being able to not take it so seriously, internalize it, and think that you think people don't like you because of that, or that you're not smart because of that, because that's not true at all. We spend so much time worrying about that when honestly, I'm going to tell you, I don't think most people notice most things. Yes, there will always be the ones that think, oh, I've got to tell her how wrong this was or how wrong that was. But that's not most people. Most people are too wrapped up in their own selves and their own worlds and all of that to really comment or care. So remember that most people are dealing with their own stuff. Number 10, if I become too confident, I will look bitchy or I'll look like a narcissist. If you think that, then first of all, you are so far away from either one of those things, you don't have to worry about it. If that's a thought that you have, you do not have to worry about it. Having confidence is okay. Manipulating, domineering, gaslighting, that's not okay. Those are things that are not okay. But if you're coming from a position of genuine helpfulness, if you're excited because you know you're good at something, then you're able to give that to so many other people. And so when you can help enough other people feel really good about what they're doing, then that's going to come back to you tenfold. Having too little self-confidence is actually more damaging than having too much. And we need to remember that. It's when you don't think enough of yourself and the gifts that you have to offer, you're wasting that. I believe all of us were given gifts that nobody else has. And so we're supposed to use those gifts and give back to the world. And that's why I think that as women, we can do so much more, because I do believe the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world, and that we can give and give and give and watch it affect people down the line, right? So when people feel great about how they look, then it changes their outlook. When people feel good about how they're able to give to other people, it changes their outlook. When we can be kind, it changes somebody else's outlook. And then that just keeps on spreading. So that is what I challenge you to do, is to think in those terms. So you do have some homework today. It's not too much. It'll be pretty easy. And I think tomorrow will be a little bit shorter than today was, just because we're going to talk about some fun stuff, how to become like Wonder Woman. So your homework for today is to jot down everything you've done that you've been afraid or nervous to do. Think back. Go all the way back. I don't care what it was, right? Go all the way back. Jot down everything that you can think of. And then I want you to go back and look at that list and think about how you felt when it was completed, right? I was so insecure when I was little. Like, it's weird. Like, I had all the confidence in the world in my teens, right? I was a bratty teen. I had all the confidence ever. I got married at 20. My husband and I moved to Chicago, totally outside my comfort zone. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska, not a very big town, rule the roost. Like, it was super comfortable to me. That's all I'd ever known. And so when I got out of that realm and moved away, my confidence was in the toilet. I was afraid to go anywhere. I was afraid to be around people. And it took a good 6 months for me to come out of that. And the only way that I did it was my husband being patient and me just having to step out every single day. So think about those things. Go as far back as you need to. I had tons of confidence in high school. And then, like I said, that all went away. So, because it was outside of my norm. All right. Then I want you to jot down the strengths that you have that portray confidence. What strengths do you have right now that you possess that you think make you confident? And I would love for you to just share some of them, because I feel like it's so important, because what you see as a strength, somebody else may feel like they have that, but maybe don't see it as a strength. And I think it's super important. Like if you're kind, that's a huge strength. If you have patience, that's a huge strength. That should give you confidence, because so many people may not have those things. For me, I'm a great listener. So I feel like that's a huge confidence booster for me, because I know I can sit there and listen to somebody. I know that holding space for somebody is one of the greatest gifts I can give somebody, because so often we don't have that from other people. So just jot down anything that you can think of that portrays your confidence and is a strength. And just remember that so often the risk of remaining the same, that change is more painful than the risk of change. We have to change to build more confidence. There's no two ways about it. We can be confident right where we're at, and that's great. But if you want to grow, you have to be willing to step outside that comfort zone a little bit. And it's just a little bit today and a little bit tomorrow and a little bit the next day. And I'm not talking they have to be huge things. It's just one thing that scares you, that you step out and that you do, and or makes you nervous. Like there's still things, you guys. I'm going to a speed dating. I don't even know what it's called. And I'm married, so I'm not dating. It's a speed like networking type thing. Okay, I am not very comfortable in one-on-one situations, even though I'm a great listener. I never know like what to say. I would rather sit there and listen to people's stories all day long. So I set myself up tomorrow to go on a speed dating thing. So I will let you know my speed dating networking. So we spend so many minutes, couple minutes with a person, and then you move and you talk to the next person, and then you move and you talk to the next person. And so that terrifies me. And because I have set myself up to do new things, I'm going to a pole dancing class on Friday. Now, let me just tell you, this ain't ready for no pole. But I thought, all right, you want to bust out of your comfort zone? Go do something you've never done. And so I'm going to do that. Last year I went rock climbing. I hated it, but I did it, right? So I was super scared when I first did it. I was like, holy cow, how am I going to do this? And by the end I was like, all right, I did this. This is okay. And I got to the top and I came down and I learned a new skill. It was something that now I could go do again. So I thought, pole dancing sounds fun. Why not? So I want you to be thinking of ways that you can stretch outside your comfort zone this week, to try something new. And we will be back tomorrow at the same time. So your homework is to jot down things that you've done when you were afraid or that you were nervous to do, how you felt when you completed them, and then the strengths that you portray that portray confidence to you. So have an awesome rest of the day. Feel free to put comments in here. Send me a DM if you need to. You can ask anything you want here. I will gladly open or answer any questions. This is a small closed group. I think it's really small. I still have some people that have signed up that haven't gotten into the group yet, but please feel free to share any thoughts, feelings, whatever it is. And I will plan on seeing you all tomorrow, same time. And we will continue on. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about learning to be like Wonder Woman. So I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.